video was not on. I mean, my sound was not on. Sorry, you guys. So welcome to the Profitable Mindset Facebook group. Today I have a new series I'm starting. It's Business Tip Tuesday, and it's actually a very in-depth training that I will be doing in here every Tuesday. And we will probably put these videos on YouTube as well and make them part of a series. So if I can tell you this, if you watch this series and you actually incorporate what I teach, you will blow yourself away at how you will change and transform and grow your farm, because I'm teaching you in here based on all of my experience and education, but also what I teach to my marketing students too, and they're doing amazing. So I have one thing I want to address before I jump into the training. And I just want to answer a question that, well, not a question. I want to address something that I saw happening with some of you guys. I want to talk about the very first rule of selling. And I learned this when I was selling real estate for 10 years. And when we take our big real estate exam, which is like a half a day long, it's this huge exam, the very first and most important thing you've got to learn about selling, which applies to you as farmers too, is you have to find people who are willing and able to buy. So what happens is I get lots of emails and messages from you guys wondering how to convince people to buy, or that you had this meeting with someone and they should be buying from you because your products are so much better than the grocery store. And how can you convince them they should be buying your products? Or someone else came and said her sister-in-law has been buying from her for years and they had a price increase. And now the sister-in-law is angry because they think they need special favors, and the farmer is angry because they're losing money and all that. So the common thread amongst all those scenarios is the person may have been able, but they weren't willing. You've got to have the two together. You've got to have customers who are willing to buy from you and able to buy from you. If they're able to buy from you but not willing, it won't work. And if they're willing to buy from you but have no money, it won't work either. So you have to have customers who are willing and able to buy from you. If someone's not willing to buy from you, let them go. It is not your job to convince them. And actually you will come across as really creepy when you try to convince people to buy from you. Don't waste a breath ever trying to convince anyone to buy from you. It has the opposite effect. It makes you look really creepy and salesy and spammy. So you don't convince people to buy. Instead, you attract people from the get-go who are willing and able to buy from you. Sales are so easy when you do that. How do you attract them? You talk about how you help them. You don't talk about your products that are for sale or the prices or your farming practices. That will not attract buyers to you. You've got to become a person who is aligned and well-adjusted and practices great self-care and has great self-confidence, and you will have people clamoring at your farm door to buy your products. I see it all the time. So work on yourself and your mindset through either my group coaching calls or if you're in farm marketing from the heart, or the one-on-one appointments. You've got to become a person who people are attracted to buy from. No amount of convincing will work. You might pressure someone into buy once, but it will give you such a negative reputation that it just won't work long term. So let me check my comments here. And so just know that you have to have people who are willing and able. They have to go and happen here. So someone's asking me a question. I'm going to answer it before I go on. Someone said, "Where's the video?" They aren't watching the video. There's someone somewhere else right now. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about. So that answered a question that I see all the time. You guys are trying to convince people to buy your products, and they aren't. You can't do that. They are not willing. You got to find willing and able people, and they are everywhere. Every time I step foot out of my house, even though I live 7 miles out of town, I run into people who are willing and able. They're attracted to us. you will do the same thing. So don't convince, find people who are willing. Okay, the second part of this is the business training I want to get into today is all about how to focus your marketing. So what I see you guys doing, here's what I see on the normal farm. You start out with a product. You sell the product or you're trying to sell the product and it's not working. You're not finding enough customers to buy from you, or you're not getting your prices where they need to be, or you're using low prices to attract customers. So what happens is, because you're not investing in learning, you're not going to build the profitable farm unless you invest in learning how to attract buying customers. So since you're not investing in learning, what I see people doing is buying more, or starting to raise more products and sell more products. So they start out with chickens, and they're having a hard time selling chickens at the price they need to charge to be profitable. So they think the answer is not to focus on chickens. They think the chickens are the problem. They start raising pork or vegetables or whatever. So pretty soon you get yourself spread really thin, and none of it's working. You're still not selling your products at the price you need to be selling. You're scrambling. That's the point where I usually get the emails from people saying, we're quitting. Do you know anyone who wants to buy our stuff? Okay. So you can't do that if you want to have long-term success. If you want a profitable farm, you are going to have to focus on one core offer or one signature offer. Okay. You've got to figure out what is that one thing that you want to be known for helping people solve their problems. Now, I've said this in Leslie's here. Hey, Leslie, good to hear from you. I've said this in other videos before. Many of us are looking to people like Joel Salatin, and we're taking his 40 years of business and we're trying to start our farms where he is at 40 years, after 40 years. That doesn't work. It took him 40 years to get there. And if you try to start your farm year 1 or 5 at his 40, you're going to fail. You've got to go back to the very basics. You've got to have one signature product that you're known for. This helps focus your marketing, but also your branding and everything. Okay. So if you're not good at selling chickens, you're not going to sell beef or milk or vegetables or flowers any better. It will not be easier to sell other products if you can't sell the first product. So let's work on getting that first product, if that's the one you want to be your core offer, successful and profitable, and something you can consistently market. Like, not that you market it once at a profit, but you can do it over and over again. Every single season you're selling at a profit. Only then have you earned the right or proven to yourself that you can add another product, okay? And this is the exact opposite of what I see all farmers doing. I'm going to say almost all farmers doing. Now, if it's too late for you, if you're offering 5 different products already, it's not too late to backtrack. Let's get you focused on your one product today. Decide what that is going to be. Just make a decision. Don't think that it's going to be hard to decide. Just decide what it is you want your core product to be, okay? Here's what happens. When you decide what that core product is going to be, your brand becomes really clear to other people. They finally know what your brand does and how you help people. And then you find people seek you out. They come after you because you're the raw milk farmer, or you're the chicken farmer, or you're the place to buy grass-fed beef or flowers. They will seek you out because you have that one clear brand by selling that one core product, that one signature product. Okay, so if you think it's too late, it's not. Just start focusing on that one product today. Now, you're probably going to feel confused at first. You're probably going to feel scared, like you're going to lose all your customers. I can tell you from experience, you won't lose your customers. And feeling scared is a normal part of building a business. So feel scared, and then decide, and then do it anyway. Okay. That's just something it's really important that you do that. Jan says hi too. Hey, Jan. Thanks, you guys who are watching live. These trainings are actually really super in-depth and take a lot of mental challenge. So I just want you guys to know that I teach business at a higher level than a lot of people are used to on Facebook. So I hope this is making sense to you. And if you can't focus on it now, come back and focus on it when you can. But this is the gist of it. You've got to have one core product, one signature product that you focus on. So what is that thing? I'd love to know if you guys are wanting to let me know in the comments. Do. I see Mark, if you're still here, I know he's a raw milk dairy farmer. So great. If that's your core product, stick to it. You will have more profit and a very clear brand when you do that. All right. So when you have one core product, what that also means is you have one thing you're known for changing people's lives. People don't wake up in the morning and just want to drive an hour one way to our farm to get a dozen eggs that they could buy in the grocery store near them, right? They come out for bigger reasons. They come out because our farms are transforming lives, you guys. And if you haven't figured out the transformation you make, that is all of module 1 in Farm Marketing from the Heart. So make sure you know what is it your products are doing to change people's lives. That's why they're willing to drive out to buy your product, you know, an hour one way or 2 hours one way. Leslie says, we've been spread thin, trying to shift focus on produce. So yay, the first way you're going to improve this is recognizing, becoming aware that you're spread too thin. Okay. So you guys who are spread too thin, this is going to help you. It helps focus your energy. We got into the same challenge years ago. We were selling raw milk, has always been our signature product, but we were also, 75 acres. We thought, what else can we do? We did chicken, beef, and pork. And so I have lived this, knowing how it dilutes your marketing and your brand when you offer so many multiple products, and also your efforts. It requires different infrastructure for each species, which means your money is spread thin, and then different efforts. When you're going to feed and care for the pigs, it's different than what you have to go do for the cows, which is different than what you have to do for the milk cows. And your efforts are spread. You will really wear yourself out. So Leslie, I'm really happy to see you here, excited to see you here. And I'm glad you're aware that you've been spread thin, because that's the first step to fixing that thing. So, who's the guy? Can't remember the guy's name who started. Let me see if I can see his name. Anyway, there's a guy who's the founder of Twitter and Square. Is that Mark Dorsey? Okay, sorry, I should have written that down before I started here. Mark Dorsey said, so he founded Twitter and he founded Square, both huge corporations. When you think of Square, you think of one thing. They solve one problem. We use them out in our farm store. So easy. Love Square. He is a smart guy. He said there are 1,000 things we could be doing, but there are only 1 or 2 things that are important. When you embrace this, a lot of us think of that and we think, oh yeah, that's really great. But are you doing that? Are you doing the one important thing that you should be doing on your farm? One core product. What is that? What's that one thing you should be doing on your farm? So take it from a man, Mark Dorsey, who created Twitter and Square, huge, profitable billion-dollar businesses, if not multi-million-dollar businesses. Focus on one thing. That's how they did it. Whenever I read books, especially autobiographies or biographies of really successful people, they focused on one thing. If you want to be super successful on your farm, you've got to focus on one thing. So what is that one thing going to be for you? What happens too is when you focus on one thing, your investments, your money you invest and your time you invest in that one thing, make that one thing grow exponentially bigger than if you had 2 things or 3 things or 5 things. Some farmers I see selling 15 different things. So when you invest your time and money in having a core product, you will sell more of that core product and you will make a larger profit than if you sell multiple things. And so I just want you guys to try that. I hear this all the time from our marketing students when they come inside Farm Marketing from the Heart and they're selling multiple things. and then they start focusing on one thing, they 10x their sales. They don't double their sales or triple their sales, 10 times the sales. And what happens is when you focus on one thing, it's easier to raise your prices. You don't lose customers because you are known for that one thing, okay? So you guys, you can't be everything to everyone. You're not the grocery store. Grocery stores are not producing products. Grocery stores are the middleman. If you want to be in a grocery store, that's fine, but you can't be the grocery store and be profitable being the producer as well. All right, so you're not the grocery store. You're not everything to everyone. You want to focus in order to make money on making one signature product that helps people, okay? It will help you. It'll just blow your profits through the roof when you do this. All right, also, I want you to think about how would you spend your time differently if you just had one product? Really think about that. When we cut back on we cut out our pork and beef, my employees were less frazzled. We were making more money. I was less frazzled. It's so much easier to focus, not just, lower your stress, but focus your time and money and energy on that one thing. Okay, you guys, so this is it for today. This is part 1 of a multi-part business training series that is going to transform your business if you apply everything in here. Today was focusing on one signature product, one core product. If you don't, you can't get to profitability focusing on a lot of different products. I don't know anyone who's successful at that, okay? What is your one core product, your signature product? All right, and that's it. And then what I started out with at the very beginning, you got to have buyers who are willing and able. Many of you are trying to sell to people who are not willing to buy farm fresh food. Drop them like a hot potato and go engage with all the people who are both willing and able to buy farm fresh products. All right. That's what I have for today. Let me know if you have any more questions. Thanks for all your comments. Tony, I'm so glad to have you here. I'm glad the videos are helping all of you. Really great having you. And we're just having gorgeous weather in Oregon, so I hope you guys are having really fabulous weather too. Let me see if there's any more comments elsewhere. Nope, that's it. Okay, you guys, take care. And I'm going to see you every Tuesday for a while for Business Tip Tuesday, which is way more than just a tip. It's an in-depth training. So take care. Watch the whole thing. Let me know if you have questions. All right. Bye-bye.